You don't need more than 1,000 views per video to start making money with your small business YouTube channel. You only need an effective YouTube funnel that can attract the exact type of people you want to be working with, that can nurture them, and you can successfully lead to your backend funnel. At the end of the day, we're trying to build a business, we're not trying to build a brand, and we're not trying to go viral. The system that I'm about to show you today works incredibly well for business owners, and I've personally tested with a lead generation agency where I helped them out an extra $15,000 a month in less than 3 months. And they actually closed their first deal for $3,000 in less than 28 days since we began using this system. And you can successfully become a figure of authority in your niche. Let's get into it. I call this system the effective YouTube funnel framework. I divide it into 3 different steps that I'm about to break down for you in this video. So first of all, we're going to start with the right ideas for your business. And I cannot tell you enough, this is one of the most important things that you have to consider, because the right type of ideas attract the right type of people. If your ideas are shit, your videos are going to be shit, your videos are going to perform shit, and you're not going to get the results that you're actually really looking for. And the first thing that you have to understand is that this is a mindset shift. The majority of the people are scared of posting content because they feel like they're going to be judged, or they feel like they might get criticized. This doesn't really matter, especially if you're a business owner. The most important thing that you have to remember is that if you've been posting low quality content, you're probably not going to get views, you're probably not going to get any clients, but at the end of the day, nobody's going to remember you because you haven't done anything remarkable for them. So the first thing that you have to understand is that you have to break this cycle. Doesn't really matter anymore. We're going to step away from this, and we're actually going to start making high quality content that is going to attract more views, and it's also going to get more leads for us, and people are going to start to perceive us as a figure of authority. All of the biggest entrepreneurs that you might know, Alex Ramosi, I don't know, Ayman Gatsi, they started posting shitty content that nobody even remembers. It only matters the significant stuff that they have done now and all of the results they have gathered for themselves and for their clients. So you want to do the same for your channel. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to start with your own persona. Imagine that this guy right here is the person you're going to be speaking to every time you make a video. And we're going to create this cross, and we're going to talk about these 4 things. There's got to be one problem that you're going to be targeting. You got to be talking about the fears. You got to be talking about the dreams of this, this person right here. And you also want to be talking about the pains. So for example, what's the one problem that they're facing? As an example, I'm not generating enough leads. This is a pretty common, problem, and you can use several different niches to target it, like Facebook ads, Meta ads, I don't know, YouTube, like I'm doing right now. And you can also do cold email. There's so many different things that you could be choosing between. So that's something to consider. And for the viewers, maybe they are saying, I won't be able to make enough money, I won't be able to scale my business, I won't be able to help others out there. These might be the fears that these guys, this person is facing right now. Another thing might be the dreams. They want to scale past 50K a month, 100K a month, $1 million a year, doesn't really matter. They want to be able to hire talent, and maybe they also want to work with X amount of X person. They want to have this type of client, in their company, like working with them and stuff. So that fulfills their dreams. Everybody has different dreams. Just make sure to create a list, that targets the dreams that your persona is, would be ideally looking for. Another thing is the pains as well. So I'm not investing time in lead gen. I'm not investing time enough time running paid ads, cold emails, etc. And maybe your cold outreach is not working, right? This might be one of the pains of these people. This is incredibly important because once we understand this cross right here, we're going to be able to make content that is targeted enough for them, and then we're going to be starting to get them in our funnel. We're going to be talking about the common objections that these people is facing. If you're already running a business, you're probably already, you've been facing a lot of objections. I want you to make a list of every single one of those objections, write them down, and you're going to create a small list like this, right? Now, how to send cold emails en masse, how to have better open rates. This is using the cold email example. How to write cold email scripts, how to use AI to write targeted emails, how to personalize the cold emails, etc. The list, is never ending. There's so many objections that people might be facing. So once you have the common objections, you want to also create the content funnel. So we have tofu, mofu, bofu, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. Top of the funnel is the type of content that is going to give you as many eyes as possible. So if you know that a topic, it has a high view ceiling or has a lot of attention on YouTube, you know that that's a top of the funnel video, right? Usually these videos are problem aware, a type of video. So your content is divided in 2 different types of content. So we have problem aware. Let me make this bigger. And we also have solution aware. Logically, the vast majority of the people is already aware that they have a problem, but not the majority of the people is aware of the solution to said problem, right? So if we go back up here, the problem that they're facing, I'm not generating enough leads. The vast majority of the people is aware of this because they're experiencing it. Even though this is not directly a problem, this might be more of a consequence, or might be more of a side effect of not doing the main thing. And then not a lot of people is solution aware. Not a lot of people know how to actually solve that issue. And that's exactly we want to be moving them towards that direction, right? So top of the funnel content usually means that we're going to be content that is directly targeted towards problem aware people. So this could be, I don't know, the best lead generation strategy for 2024, or this is how to get infinite leads for your business. This is directly speaking towards the problem that your unique persona is facing. And then the solution aware content is mostly designed, it's mostly middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. As I said before, this is not necessarily something that, it's not an established rule, but it tends to be like this. But solution aware content is usually middle of the funnel, and this is where the majority of the conversions happen, because once people become problem aware, they slowly become solution aware. Now, not everybody that is watching your middle of the funnel videos is going to come from top of the funnel. So not everybody that is watching your solution aware videos might have gone from problem aware to solution aware because they watch some of your videos. They might see, somebody else's videos, or they might have, consumed somebody else's videos. They might have paid somebody else for that. But that doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to convert them with your content. You don't need to understand that you still have the opportunity, even though they're solution aware. And this is when middle of the funnel shines the most, because they don't know who you are. They discover that they are already aware of that solution. They already understand that, that the solution they are looking for, that could be cold email in this case. They just want to know if they can actually trust you, or if they can actually do it themselves. This is two things, right? The majority of the people, when we're facing an issue, we're not aware that we can, give a solution to a problem. We think most of the times that we actually can, but when we actually figure it out and discover that this issue is more complicated than we thought, we might just pay somebody else to do it for us. So that's the most important thing here. And this is why the objections matter so much, because when we have the common objections covered, these objections are directly coming from people that is already aware of our solution, right? So solution aware, middle of the funnel content, common objections. This is one of the fastest ways to come up with video ideas. But stick with me, because there's even one thing more important after this, right? And then lastly, for the bottom of the funnel, this is where the entire trust generation process becomes a thing, right? Because we need to tell people that they can trust us, and to do that, we need to show our case studies, or we have to break down, our clients, right? How we did X amount of money for this client, how we did Z, how we did X, or in this call, I'm going to talk about how we made these guys in here, and then the client's going to confirm that they did it. We just need to generate trust, and these type of videos are the best to do that, right? Additionally, and if you check my channel, you're gonna see that I have a video called I monetize a YouTube channel in 28 days. That video is a bottom of the funnel video, even though it's packaged as top of the funnel, because that video is designed to generate trust, but also is designed to get as many views as possible. And that's also one of my best performing videos right now on the channel, because I package it in a way that is attractive for people that is interested in monetizing their business channel in under 30 days, right? So this is a mix that you can do. Not because the video is bottom of the funnel means you're gonna get low views. Generally it does, but it all comes to the packaging. But I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Now that we're gonna turn our objections into a long list of possible videos. So this is the next step that I was talking about. We have video title number 1, we have objection number 1, video title number 2, objection number 2, and so on. I recommend you writing at least 50 to 100 video ideas, because we're going to use these, even if we're not going to make up one video about every single one of them, we're still going to use this list, and we're going to filter them. We're going to find the best ideas that we can start making content immediately on. And the next step for this, which is I recommend you doing this all the time. It's one of the most effective ways to actually get consistent targeted views for your content. We're going to validate our ideas using outliers in the same or similar niches. We're going to use Video IQ to see the search volume of certain topics. And then with this information, we're going to start coming up with our own ideas, or validating if a certain video idea is interesting or not, or if people is genuinely looking for that, if there's a demand, and if there's a supply especially. The best ideas or the best video ideas are the ones that have little to none supply and a lot of demand, because that means that you might be the one that gets the most type of views, and then those type of views are definitely going to be qualified, right? So we're going to drive into our channel and to our entire funnel, right? To our effective YouTube funnel. So search for proven video ideas, repackage them, add new information, and then it can turn to something like this, right? So Alex Ramose's $100 million cold email strategy. This is a proven video idea. It was posted 10 months ago. If you even look for this video, it's still getting views consistently. So you know that people are still looking for cold email advice, and cold email strategies. And this guy right here turned it out and turned it into his own let's say a small video, even though it didn't perform as well, it still did pretty well for like the average of this channel. And this proves that it works, right? And the most important thing about this is not the quantity of views you get, is how qualified the views that you're getting is, right? Because you're already validating an idea, you know that people is interested in that. The question is how, you know, validated or how targeted these type of views are for me. Is it that, do they match my persona? Do they not match my persona? So most of the times they do, and it's a pretty good hack. And to give an example, we booked around 6 calls using these same principles. So I made $100,000 in 30 days. I did the same format right here. I made $100,000 for calling in 30 days. I believe this video already has 2K views for a channel with less than, like that. At that time, the channel had less than 300 subscribers, 250 subscribers. That's why the outlier number is right here. And this video booked around 6 calls. So this proves that this concept works, especially for attracting the people that we're trying to work with. This is one of the clients that I mentioned that they're making already $15,000 a month exclusively from YouTube. So I'm telling you, this strategy works. Just make sure to understand, you know, why you should do this, and then how you should repackage this content, right? So this is the entire step number 1, which is basically the right ideas for your business. This is like the most simplified version of this because I don't want to make this too long. However, I have an entire ideation document that I'm going to show you right here in a second, but I have that entire document as a, you know, in the description. You can just click on it. You're going to have access to the link. You're going to be able to get access to this training. You're also going to get access to my script writing training, and you're also going to get access to a setup building training. I'm going to tell you how to set up your studio so you can look like an authority, because people trust you more if you look like an authority and you actually generate trust. So this is the entire document. I have a bunch of other high-level ideas that you can check in here. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you to that, so you can check it on your own. And yeah, for the step number 2, this is exactly the next part. Is going to be how to write effective scripts for being an authority. There are different ways of writing scripts. There are hundreds of tutorials out there, but I'm going to show you what's been working for me so well for this agency. And that has booked us a lot of calls in the process, right? So a great script has 3 elements. It has an introduction, it has a body, and it has an outro. You got to take this into mind. Introductions, they validate the click with a strong hook. They also set up stakes, or they present stakes, which is basically pain points or fears. So what happens if if I don't do X, Y, Z, or what happens if this, if they don't, what's at stake, basically. You understand the concept, what's at risk. And also, we also want to set up expectations with our introduction. So you want to tell people what to expect when they watch your video. And we want to make sure that these expectations are pretty much interesting for the persona that is watching the video, right? Because if we're not telling them that they're going to learn how to make money with their business, and they're just watching a Mr. V's video, that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? So we want to make sure that the expectations match up the type of people we want to attract. And we just want to be showing proof, right, that we're competent enough to be talking about whatever we're talking about. So, as an example, this is the video title. Ayman Gatzi's Terrible Cold Email Advice is one of the videos that we did for our clients, and it's one of currently the best performing videos so far. Ayman Gatzi just released a video next to Guillaume Mauvesh giving some of the most outdated cold email advice, right? So we're validating the click right here with a strong hook. You could get it if you send. You could get it if you send or you're thinking about sending cold emails. And because I send over 3 million cold emails and generated over 7 figures for my clients with my lead generation agency, where I introduce a picture here, I'm going to show you everything wrong with this video and what's a better alternative that I guarantee you will make you money, right? So we have stakes, and it's probably gonna give you outdated advice. It's probably gonna give you the results you're looking for, and it's also setting up expectations because they're telling you, this is what you can expect. He's gonna show you everything wrong with the video and what better alternative that is gonna make you more money. And finally, some proof. And because I've sent over 3 million cold emails and rated over 7 viewers for my clients, is already telling them. Obviously, we have picture on screen to give more evidence that what he's saying is true and like proving the claims. And then this is like how we usually want to be crafting these introductions. Introductions, I always recommend scripting them 100% because you want to be saying the right type of things. Freestyling introductions, I don't really recommend it. For the body, though, it's a bit different. I'm going to get into that now. So bodies are basically composed by 3 things: script, open loops, write bullet points for the information, and then add stories to your videos, right? So the first thing is open loops. Open loops are basically, incomplete circles. So if we're talking about, I want to give an example here. But now that you know how to scrap leads, it's all useless if you don't know what to do with it. Which takes me to my next step, right? So we're telling them that it's useless to scrap leads, which is the previous step we were talking about. if they don't know this next step, right? We're not telling them what it is, so we're basically leaving the circle a little bit open, and we want them to feel like they're gonna find an answer to close this gap right here in the next, in the next step or in the next segment. But the trick is that we're gonna be doing this every single time we're gonna talk about something, right? So yeah, we want to be running 2 bullet points, and finally, we want to be running bullet points for the information that we cover, because for the bodies, we don't want to be writing a fully fleshed out script. We want to be mostly covering, the bullet points, the general things that we're going to be talking about, because if you fully script a video, chances are you're not going to sound as natural on camera. It's going to sound that it's scripted, obviously. It might perform well. It all depends, the level of script writing that you have, but I always recommend just writing general bullet points, because you probably don't have the time to do it. And then with bullet points, you're just gonna put the main information topics. If you weren't talking about cold emails, why cold emails is so important, how to send X amount of cold emails. It all depends on the type of topic or content that you want to be, or the topic you want to be covering in the video. So make sure just to write bullet points and write each what thing's gonna happen on each section, and then jump into the next one. And finally, obviously, you want to be adding open loops within each bullet point. So basically, you want to be fully scripting these open loops, and then jump into a bullet point, then open loop, then bullet point. That's the most effective way I've seen. And finally, we want to be adding stories to our videos. So anecdotes, referral stories, zero to hero, it doesn't really matter. Stories are one of the best ways to engage people into our videos, especially if we're not scripting them. So if you come up with a quick story between bullet points explaining how something happened, or what type of results you got because you did X, Y, and Z, or how was the entire journey, is one of the most effective ways to do it. And finally, we want to be coming up with an outro, right? So we want to be opening an open loop again for the outro. Once we are ready with already done with the body, we're gonna start with an open loop. So we can use this same example here. Although this video has done X, Y, and Z, I'm going to show you an example next. Then we also want to be adding a curiosity gap. So you can either send the audience to a new video or sell them your service. That's going to be the curiosity gap. So basically, the difference is that if you're going to offer your own service, you tell them. And although this video teaches you X, Y, and Z, if you want to actually make it on your own, I can help you do or get X, Y, Z result, right? And if you want to use it for, want to sell them a different video, you can just tell them. And although this video is useful, this next video is going to cover X, Y, and Z, that it's going to make this information even more relevant. You're basically telling them, you're introducing a different video to them. So these are the 2 different options that you can take for your outros. And lastly, you want to include a new opportunity, which is directly connected to this right here. The new opportunity is either going to be a new video, it's going to be your own offer.